Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of 15 Cards. So another look at a previously opened single booster pack of Mirrodin. This isn't the only pack of Mirrodin I've opened, but I've got a sneaking suspicion I actually opened this before I opened that group of, what would it be, packs and tournament decks. I'll include a link to that particular pack opening. You'll notice with this particular series, if you can call it that, I jump around a bit. That's intentional. It just makes it a little bit interesting for me. I've sort of gone off a little bit, going off through things chronologically, but what I will tend to do is sort of keep blocks together. So just spoiler alert here, we'll probably see between some other stuff, because I've started opening fresh boosters of more recent packs now again, but you'll probably see Darksteel 5th Dawn coming up. Anyway, that's the plan. So Mirrodin, right, we may get some vocal interruptions by Mav. It's 6:30 in the morning here. I fancied a bit of early morning filming, and he's waiting to be fed at 7, so yeah, he can hear me in here, so he sort of thinks, I'll go and pester treat guy to give me my breakfast. So you can see already we've got this really nice foil planes. I don't know if anybody's opened these particular set, but the foil lands are pretty cool. If you're lucky enough to find them, it's really nice the way the mana symbols pop as well on there. We'll look up a bit closer when we go through on the second pass, like we always do. So the rare in this was extra planar lens. 3 to cast, imprint. When extra planar lens comes into play, you may remove target land you control from the game. The removed card is imprinted on this artifact. Whenever a land with the same name as the imprinted card is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana to his or her mana pool of any type that land produced. So it's one of those interesting sort of mana multipliers. I can't remember what the correct technical term for those is. Slith Predator. 2 green, 1/1 Slith. Creature Slith. Trample. Whenever Slith Predator deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. I think alongside Shards of Alara, this might be the only set where I actually read one of the novels, interestingly enough. Dragon Blood, 3 to cast artifact, 3 tap, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Fabricate, 2 and a blue sorcery, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And we have Cloud Post. This is one of these loci, however you like to think about it. Land Locus. Cloud Post comes into play tapped. Tap, add 1 to your mana pool for each locus in play. Disarm, single blue. Unattach all equipment from target creature. Omega Mir, 2 to cast, 1/2. Override, 2 and a blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each artifact you control. It's an instant. Krark Clan Shaman, single red, 1/1, creature goblin shaman, sacrifice an artifact. Krark Clan Shaman deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Viridian Longbow, 1 to cast, artifact equipment. Equipped creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Equipped for 3. So in the reminder text we've got 3 attached to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. This card comes into play unattached and stays in play if the creature leaves play. We've got Bone Splitter, 1 to cast, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, equipped for 1. The Great Furnace, artifact lands. So this was a cycle of artifact lands that was in the set. That yeah, there was a affinity for artifacts. Yeah, caused a lot of problems. So Great Furnace isn't a spell, but it is an artifact. Tap, add red to your mana pool. You can see as well on this one, yeah, I can't actually tell. There was a problem, wasn't there, I think around 8th edition with the colours on the some of the mana symbols. And I can't remember whether they've sorted this out or not. It's actually difficult to see on this because I think it is there. It is actually red. But they had a really washed out grey appearance to them. And that happened around about what? I think it was 8th edition that happened, which this came out after 8th edition. Moriok Scavenger, 3 and a black, 2/3, creature human rogue. When Moriok Scavenger comes into play, you may return target artifact creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And then we have Predator Strike, 1 and a green. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. It's an instant. So what's that? It's like a giant growth with trample on it. Cool. Okay. So we will zoom in rather than zoom out. This looks a little weird, which is one of the problems with foils when you get up close. There we go, it's probably better if I do that. Very nice. Okay. So this is one card that I really found interesting in that I've probably been aware of most of the details on it from when I first saw it. So for me, sort of looking at this, it doesn't reveal that much extra. But, well, actually, one thing that's easy to miss sometimes, just when you're looking at it quickly as you've opened a pack, of course around here we've got the mana symbols. Some are easier to spot than others, like the black one here can sort of get hidden away when you're looking at a distance from the background. But definitely, generally when you see it, sort of, I find it always causes you to sort of focus in on this particular part of the card. But the artwork generally, I mean, I find it does really pop just naturally. Yeah, a lot of the creatures in Mirrodin always, to me anyway, always look pretty strange when they did have cards with creatures on them that weren't associated with artifacts or, weren't artifact creatures. Because for this set, there's this whole interesting thing going on in green. as well. Oh yeah, dragon's blood. This very much just sort of reminds me of the sort of artwork you might see on some of those Lucky Charms type cards actually. And we have Fabricate. Oh, that's looking really cool close up. What's nice with this, doing this series, is I find that with the close-up work, you get much more depth on artwork than maybe you notice just seeing the cards as you're opening. And this is a really good case in point. I don't know if that's coming across on the screen, but there's now a sort of real depth to this. Let's see what Cloud Post looks like. Yeah, another one where sometimes with this card it's easy to just miss it, if that's the right word, you know, when you're going through a pack and you've opened it and it's like, well, yeah, artwork looks really interesting, but maybe you don't register straight away what's going on there in the detail. But now what's cool is it looks to me much more eye-like. And again, nice clouds. You know I like my clouds. Let's move this down a little bit actually. Disarm. Another one where you've got more depth going on here. Interesting structure in the background here. I don't know if this is intended to be part of the character. I don't think it is. I think it's just this sort of slightly Geiger-esque back wall going on here. This is one of a number of mirrors in the set. It's looking up close at this. It's quite, in some strange way, it's quite meditative. Move his back. Override. Oh, there's a lot of like blue lightning we're seeing so far as well, which is cool. So there's Override. Crack Clan Shaman. Seeing it's sort of like almost a mashing together of like a Joker-esque. It reminds me a lot of a sort of caricature of the Killing Joke Joker, but you know, sort of goblinized, if that makes any sense. That's what I tend to think of. But also, it's a style and a look that I tend to think about with red black. I don't know why. It's probably because I've seen it. That particular facial style a lot on goblins in red black. I don't even know if that holds up when you analyse it. It's just my first impressions. Very spiky looking fella. Yeah. Viridian longbow. So we've got a piece of basically a pinger here that you can equip. It's a pretty gnarly looking bow. Not quite sure what this is supposed to be. It's almost like got some sort of jet assist on it, maybe, I don't know. Oh, bone splitter. 1 to cast, and it's +2 +0 equipped for 1. Again, we know up close. I suppose the card itself does have, I mean, when you're looking at it, yeah, there's obviously depth there, but yeah, definitely the zooming in really helps there. I've never seen any, don't know if I've ever seen one of these in foil. I'd be interested to know if anybody's ever opened one or looked at one, what that looks like, how it appears. Yeah. I think a full set of the artifact lands would be nice. I do have a set of these actually. Not necessarily in foil, but yeah, a regular set. Got a bit of floating going on here. There's sort of floating rock vibe that you often see in what Zendikar block, I think. Cool. Real scavenger. Oh wow! Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So, whatever this is behind here, it's almost like creature-like. Looks like it's sort of sneaking up on this. I'm assuming this is the scavenger and not this, but could be, you know, round the other way. I'm assuming that this must be some sort of piece of organic equipment, maybe. Yeah, I'm having trouble like thinking clearly about the storyline simply because when I didn't read the Mirrodin novel when it came out, but whenever I read it, it must have been at least 15 years ago, maybe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 2010 probably, I reckon. Predator Strike. That's an interesting style of artwork that we don't really see so much now in Magic. Again, there's a nice depth to this close up, which you don't always get when you're just again looking at the cards in passing. I'm hoping the one thing when you're up close like this with the lights on at this angle is the colours do tend to dull a little bit, but I find often when I look back at it on the screen it's not too bad. Sometimes it's just the angle I'm looking at the small camera monitor. In fact, if I look at this straight on the camera, the actual colours look pretty close. I've got the camera sort of balanced so that it should reflect the colour better, just how I've got things set up. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's always fun when you sort of do this with certain cards, and some cards it just it feels almost like the central character floats a little bit. It's not really, I don't think it's really doing it here, and you're always going to get a slightly different effect because there is a degree of autofocus going on here. Or well, actually that's not. I got also the steadying feature on the camera on. Very nice. Okay, so there we have it. That was really cool. As always, looking through those. I know people enjoy these videos. I really enjoy making them, so I'm just going to keep going through these over time, interspersing them with the other stuff I do as always. I've just got to return to that very nice foily planes. Hopefully it's not giving anybody too bad a headache, but I know with these sometimes the foil, looking at the foils at a funny angle can be a little bit annoying. Anyway, thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future video.